Alright guys, welcome back. I know I said that was gonna be the last video I did on this mower, but I decided to go ahead and put 2 new plugs in it, and I'm gonna clean the coils and the magnets off. I know there's a lot of controversy on whether cleaning the coils and the magnets helps with spark or not, and this mower's got decent spark, but I think cleaning them off would help with it more. I've personally seen where cleaning the coils will actually increase the amount of spark you get. I've had mowers that would not run hardly at all, or they wouldn't run. Clean the coil and the magnets and they would run. I can't say that that's going to work every time, and I can't say that that was the exact cause of it, but from what I've seen, that's been the repair option. So I went to good old AutoZone yesterday, and they hooked me up with 2 of the spark plugs I needed to go on this mower. These are the same spark plugs you would get at John Deere without the John Deere prices. Same exact plugs, same exact numbers, same exact gap. These will work just fine. Thank you, AutoZone, for providing these plugs. Now, AutoZone did not donate the plugs, but they were able to get me what I needed. You got 4 bolts holding the screen on here, and this gets this big plastic cover off. I suppose I could do the spark plugs first, but I want to get this off and out of my way. I got a rainstorm moving in, guys, so I'm trying to beat the rain here a little bit. Maybe one of these days I'll get me a shop built and won't have to be working outside. I do have some big news for the channel. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is in this video. I'm going to leave you guys to ponder. But I do have some big news that is awesome news for our channel, and that it's going to help our channel out as far as getting supplies and such like that. So you guys stay tuned and see what the big news is. Hope you enjoy what it is. Alright, let's go ahead and snatch these plugs out. They won't take but a second. And these plugs aren't that bad in this mower, guys. Not at all. I always match your plugs up. Always check, make sure they're the right plugs. I don't care if they come from a reputable, huge name dealer. Always check them, make sure they're right. Those are perfect. So I'll save these later in case I need them on another project. And we'll go ahead and stick the new ones in. Because if this wasn't a customer mower, I wouldn't be changing the plugs. But it's a customer mower, so I'd rather change the plugs than have it come back to me. Because I don't mind a project coming back to me that I've been working on for somebody, as long as it's not coming back to me for something that I done. If this is something I could have done while I was here, that's fine. And remember, don't over tighten your plugs, guys. They don't have to be gorilla tight. There's that one. I'm going to move around to the other side. I'll go ahead and loosen these bolts I have over here. These bolts for the screen, they are 5/16. The bolts around the casing are 10mm. You got one here, one back here, one back here, one here, one here, and then 3 on the other side. And then you got the 2 bolts holding the breather in. And these bolts don't have to come all the way out because the cover's slotted. So you can just slide the cover around them. Makes life a little convenient. Guys, please like and subscribe for more of my content if you're enjoying the content. I enjoy making these videos for you guys, and I'm gonna start doing some tune-up videos in the future that is based towards people who didn't have someone to teach them to do stuff like this, and didn't have, you know, for men, women, and children, you know, for people that didn't have a father figure growing up. Because, you know, I had a father till I was 8 years old, and then my father passed away. Then I just had uncles and stuff to look to, but some people don't even have that. So I'd like to provide some knowledge to some of those people. You know, I'm not going to turn every video into something like that, but I'd like to do a few tune-up videos and basic maintenance videos, teaching people how to maintain their own stuff and do it properly, but also do it on a budget. Because with money being so tight right now, everybody's on a budget. So I'd like to help people out in any way I can. I have my wife's car, it's a 2014 Ford Escape, that I want to do an oil change on. And I have to do an oil change on my 72 as well. And this mower will be back in the future because it needs a oil sump gasket. But the gentleman told me not to worry about the oil sump gasket right now unless it was just consuming ridiculous amounts of oil, because the whole engine has to come off to fix it. So I figured while it was off, I'd go ahead and clean it up real good for him. So he said that he would wait and see how much oil it consumes, and we'd bring it back at a later date and time for that one. And I told him, I said that was fine, because he just lives right across the street from me. So I can go over and get it whenever he's ready for me to do it. They're just needing something to cut their grass right now because this is the only mower they have. So we could do that. That could be a wintertime project or something like that when I have the space in the shop for it. So that's not a big deal. And you guys let me know if you're liking the content. Drop a thumbs up, drop a comment, you know, just say hi. Get to know each other. I mean, I know I have a lot of viewers from all around the world. You know, we're up to 61 viewers right now. And guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate each and every view. This is the spark plug out of this side. Each and every like, I appreciate it all. Guys, get to know each other a little bit. Comment down in the comment section. Tell me what you enjoy working on. Tell me if you have experience working on stuff like this. I'm basically self-taught. I learned some in school, but I'm more self-taught than I am anything. And the number on these plugs are RC12YC. That's the plugs you need for this Intech 20. The 20 horsepower. And some of these parts on this mower, they are John Deere specific parts. They don't want to cross-reference them. Like a lot of my local dealers around here couldn't get me some of the parts for this mower, like the breather and stuff like that, the air filter and stuff. They couldn't get me that air filter. They said it was, and I know I could have found it if I'd have went up there and went through their stock. I could have found one that matched it, but it was a dealer option. It had to be from a John Deere dealer, because something about they didn't like to share their parts or whatever. It ain't really up to me. I don't care. I got it for about the same price anyway. But the body parts and stuff like that, you're gonna need to find some other than just a little small town store, because they're not gonna have a whole lot for them. Alright guys, let's see. I got all these bolts loose and the mosquitoes are eating me up today. That rain cloud moving in's got everything moving. And guys, this mower does run. It runs very well. It's just still got a little pop to it. And that bugs me to send it back to this gentleman with a pop. But if I have to, I have to. I mean, I hadn't been able to figure it out. It's one of those situations where we may have to wait till it gets worse before I can figure out what's causing it. Because there's no real big issue showing me what's causing it. I mean, I've gone through the carburetor, and the gentleman don't want to put a new carburetor on because this is a fairly expensive carburetor. Yeah, the cheaper ones on Amazon. The cheapest one I found on Amazon was like 60 bucks. But sometimes you have to fiddle with those and they don't hold up quite as well for someone who doesn't know how to tinker with this stuff. And yeah, I've used them and they hold up great. I have no problem with them. But for a gentleman who's disabled and is relying on this mower to cut his yard, I'd rather give him something a little more reliable. So I rebuilt this one because it was only costing me $12 to save him some money. So if this doesn't work and I keep having this issue, I'll order him a new carburetor. And we'll go from there. And that cover just slides off like that right there. You can lay it off to the side. You got your 2 coils here. I'm going to try to get you guys a shot of this. Got 1 coil here, 1 coil here. 2 bolts. Should be 5/16 to take them off. And remember, when you put your coils back on, set the gap on them. The gap I think called for on this one was 12 thousandths. 12 to something thousandths. I can't remember the exact. But I'm going to set it at the minimum of 12 thousandths. And inspect your wires up under them, guys. Make sure your kill wires, these wires right here, make sure those are not broken or cut into or scrubbing or anything like that. You want to make sure everything looks the way it should. Because if not, that could be causing an issue. And you got little diodes right here that could go bad. But that's a different story. Terrell Fixes All has a good video on those diodes. I've never run into one that had a bad diode, but he's had a couple. So if you're interested about those, go check out his video, because I don't see them often enough to mess with them. So I'm going to leave them like they are. But as you can see on this magnet right here, let's see here. Yeah, see right here, this magnet. Let's see, trying to get you guys wiggled in here. There's a pretty good bit of rust right there on that magnet, on the whole flywheel. So I'm going to take a wire wheel on an air tool and just run it around the magnets and stuff like that, clean it all off. And then that way all I have to do is put it all back together. And I'm hoping this fixes our problem. And I'm hoping to try to beat this rainstorm too. Because I don't want to leave this motor sitting open. I can put it all back together in a hurry, but I'd rather not have to. This mower's got a new starter, new fuel filter, rebuilt carburetor, valves have been adjusted, new spark plugs, new battery. It had sat for 3 years. Roughly 3 years. I think it may have sat a little longer than that, but not quite. And hadn't been ran in a long time. So I got it running. And so far it's run good. The blades and all work on it. Some of the tires have a very, very slow leak on them. But that's it. I mean, it's a good running little mower. There wasn't a whole lot of mice chewing on it. Maybe a little squirrel chewing on it here and there, but there wasn't but one spot that had the wires chewed on it, and that was on one of the battery terminals. Thought I might have saw another spot. Yeah, there's a couple right there. It's got some chew marks on them that could be causing an issue, but they're not showing any copper or anything. Yeah, none are showing copper. So that may be an issue later on, but nothing that needs to be dealt with right now. Sorry guys, my battery's dying on my phone, so we're gonna pep this up a little bit here. I'll get you guys a shot of this, and then I'll pause it we'll pause the video while I clean them off, and then we'll come back, show you reassembly. Alright, so you got your kill wire right here, you got to unhook. Get that unhooked. Oh man, that one's on there. Oh, there we go. That plug. See how rusty that is? We'll clean that rust off of it, and it should be a little better. It ain't gonna be perfect, but it'll be a little better. Oh, these have a tab on them. Neat. I ain't never seen that. Have a little tab on the wire right here you push. I ain't never seen nothing like that. This one's got a little more rust on it. And like I said, guys, I'm not saying that this will fix it, but I have seen cases where this has improved the quality of your spark. So I'll get this all cleaned up because you guys aren't going to be able to hear me talking while I do this anyway, and I'll bring you back. Alright guys, I hope you guys can see good enough. We're going to get this last one on here. Make sure you hook your wire back up. And make sure they're facing right. This side out, this side out. It'll say this side out on the top. Or it'll say cylinder side. And typically I would use a business card to get these guys. But I'm just using a 12 thousandths feeler gauge because I don't have my wallet on me. My wallet's in the house. So I'm just using a feeler gauge today. And then you ain't got but 2 bolts to put it on. What I do is I get the bolts started. And we'll run them down till they're just touching the coil. And that way it's not so hard to tighten whenever you start putting pressure on it or start putting your feeler gauge in it. And what we do is we just stick it in like that. I wish I had some longer feeler gauges because these don't really work well on something like this. We'll loosen that one just a little bit. And they don't curve that well. So you need something that's going to kind of curve to it. But that'll be close enough right there. It also keeps, because I didn't clean the whole flywheel, I just cleaned the magnets. So that'll keep it close enough that we won't really have to worry about it. And you can tighten one side and just kind of pull on the other, and it helps if you have a gauge like this that you're using. That's kind of snug right there. Let's see how it's going to do. Make sure you don't have any rubbing on the rusty areas. See, like I've got a little rubbing right there. And yeah, it would probably come off, but I don't want to destroy this coil. And there's enough play in these things that you can gaff them out a little further. Because it's 12 to something thousandths. I just can't remember the rest of it. I'd have to look it up again. And I'm trying, like I said, guys, I'm trying to beat this rainstorm here. So we just loosen them both back up a little bit, make sure they don't screw. And it can be a little tricky sometimes. Yep, I can hear the thunder coming in now. Alright, time for us to get buttoned up. Don't move. Hope it didn't. It did a little bit, but I think it'll be fine. Yep, we're good. We'll back down back on just a tad. Any of you guys ever talk to yourself while you're working on stuff? I can't be the only one that does it. Alright, there we go. Now I'll start it up and let you guys see how it does after I hook the spark plug bars up. You guys thought I was going to forget, didn't you? Not going to say I haven't forgotten before, but I'm not going to forget this time. You always want to make sure your wires go back down in this slot right here. There's a slot cut for them so that they don't get pinched or cut or anything like that. Alright, I'm going to pick you guys up so I can start this mower, and we shall go from there. That seems to have fixed it. It don't pop anymore. And also, guys, don't run it too long without this cover on it, because that keeps the heads and stuff cool. The air circulating keeps the heads cool. It could blow a head quick. Let's see if it starts without choke. Nope, still don't want to start without choke though. But there's no more popping, and that was what we wanted. So we got that resolved. Now let's just get it all put back together real quick before you guys die on me. Excuse the background noise, guys. We got a trash truck coming through the neighborhood today. So everybody got to do their jobs, I guess. Won't bother me none. I don't personally pay to have my trash hauled off. I personally haul it to the dump myself. Saves me some money because it don't cost me $5 a month. Instead of having to pay them $18 a month. And I don't live far from the dump either, so I know I'm being a little bit random. That's alright though. We're all friends here, we can talk, can't we? Hope you guys are having a good week so far. Mine's been pretty good. And guys, I know that y'all aren't getting the best of views right now, but I really don't have anywhere on this mower to set you with my current tripod. And I don't have a tripod big enough to set up on the ground I am working on all that, but it'll take me a minute. Y'all just gotta be patient with me. And I'm a one-man team. I don't have a camera person or anything like that. My daughter takes pictures for me every once in a while, but for the most part, she likes to be in front of the camera helping me. And that's fine. I enjoy having my daughter help me. I call it daddy-daughter bonding. She wanted to stay in and spend some time with her mommy today, so she stayed in. Plus she was tired. She had quite a bit of fun playing out in the pool today. Oh, you guys are dying on me. I know this video is getting kind of lengthy, guys, but I'll try to keep it as short as I can. I just want you guys to see exactly what needs to be done to do this, because I want you to see the process. Basically just documenting the revival of a lawnmower. That's all I'm doing. And you guys get to sit back and enjoy. Put in our pre-filter. Put in our brand new air filter. And guys, the wind's picking up a little bit. I don't know if you can hear it in the camera or not, so I'm trying to speed the process up a little bit. Put this back on real quick, that way in case it does start raining, I don't have nothing to worry about. These little intake motors aren't bad motors. I personally like Briggs & Stratton better than I do Tecumseh, just because I've had a bad experience with Tecumseh. Now, not to say Briggs & Stratton don't have their mess ups, but not as bad as Tecumseh. I like Kawasaki engines. Kawasaki engine's pretty good too. I got a zero turn in here. It's got a Kawasaki engine on it. They all have their issues just like everybody else does. I just realized I'm gonna have to walk back around the mower to get my ratchet. That's alright though, we can get them snugged on there real quick. And after this one should be ready to go back home. Trying to make sure that air filter cover's on there good. Remember guys, these are 5/16 bolts for the screen. And for small stuff like this, I just use a 1/4 inch ratchet. And I wouldn't be mad if Craftsman decided they wanted to send me some tools either, considering nobody around here really deals them very much anymore. Everybody I've talked to said around here you got to order them online. And guys, these are going into plastic, so you don't want to put a lot of torque on them. Just enough to make sure there ain't no play in it. Get them snug. Alright, that's it. Alright guys, I appreciate you guys viewing today, and I hope you guys stayed for the whole video. Hope our little chat wasn't too boring. And this is the little John Deere L118. Its final journey, the popping is fixed. I still don't know why it won't start unless the choke is on. I'm assuming it's something to do with the carburetor. I'm hoping it'll work itself out, like it may be a small clog or something. Because I went through that whole carburetor, blew everything out with compressed air, cleaned everything. I mean, everything was spotless. So I don't know if it may have gotten some more junk in there or something, or what. But hopefully it'll straighten out over time, and if it don't, I'll fix it when I bring it back. But that's it, guys. Y'all have a good day.